In the government house, as a public office holder, people trust in what you do, not really what you say. Both of them have the same currency. I want you to think about this. You are the generation that can close the gap between how much we trust the market and how little we trust the podium and make people believe again. Being an ethical leader, it's not just about heading people. It's not just about telling people what to do, what not to do. It is about being a person of integrity. Remember, like I said, most of us will think we have integrity until we are tested. Now, here are 4 pillars I want you to remember to help you lead. First, integrity. You must be placed in a situation, I will never break. I will not bend. No matter what happens, I can never do this. Secondly, you must have courage. A common thing, or common denominator we find across the different stories I have told you is courage. They were willing to stand for what they believed in, whether the powers came down on them or not. They knew it was expensive. It is costly. I want you to know that it is expensive, but they were willing to hold on to their faith and to the things they believed in, no matter what happens. A wise man would always tell me, do what is right and let the consequences follow. Whatever it is that is about to happen, let it happen. Do what is right and damn the consequences. That is what being an ethical leader is about. You must be accountable. I have an ideology I go by, which is it is better that I don't say it, because if I say it, I must do it. I had a conversation some time ago with a friend, and he was asking me how I was able to do a certain thing. And I simply explained to him that I had dared the person, and I did not think the person was going to be able to achieve what I had asked them to do. But because I had said I was going to do it, I was not now going to go back on my words. I had said I would do it, and so I would do it. No excuses. No if, ands, or buts. When I said it, I thought it was going to be this way, or I thought it was going to play out this way. Be accountable to yourself as a leader. That is part of being an ethical leader. Lastly, you must learn to serve. You must learn to think above yourself. Or this thing I am planning to execute, does it benefit those who are working with me? Is this for their betterment, or is this simply for my own good? 3 questions I want you to remember when you want to act. First, the mirror test. I want you to write this down. Ask yourself, can I look myself in the eye tonight and still feel peace after I do what I am about to do? Can I look in the mirror and be like, yeah, you did well? Secondly, the headline test. Would I be fine if this choice landed on the internet for all to see? If somebody videoed you while you were doing that and it trended for a couple of days on the internet, would you be proud of it? If you went viral doing that, would you be proud of it? Would you think it will look good on you? Lastly, the mentor test. Would a person I respect be proud of what I am about to do? Everyone here has somebody they respect. It could be a father, an uncle, somebody that you revere and you respect them. You love what they do. You love what they teach. You love what they stand by. Ask yourself, that thing you're about to do, that thing you're about to say, that action you're about to take, will they be proud of you? Will they see you as one of them? Or will they count you as a disappointment? If you have 3 yeses to these answers, or if you have any hesitation, that means something is wrong with that decision you want to make or that action you're about to take. For me, these are the three things I use when I want to make a decision. I would always ask myself, after doing this thing, will I be comfortable? Will I sleep well at night? If this thing was to go out on the internet, if people were start conversing about this, will I be comfortable with it? And lastly, with the people I respect, would they think I did well? Your name is your real currency. Trust compounds, like I said before. Your reputations travel faster than data speed. People copy what you do, not what you say. Character follows you, even if you jabber, even if you leave a leadership position, even if you run away, your character is that one person. Just like I said at the beginning, the one person you must learn to lead first is yourself. Start small. Start now. Simple things you can do in conclusion. First, name the lines you want to cross. Write it down. As I speak to you, write them down. Write down at least 3 things that you know that no matter what happens, you would never do this thing. Keep one small promise this week. It could be, I would go to the gym every day this week. It could be, I'm going to read a book every day this week. Whatever it is, write it down. As I'm speaking to you, write it down now. Write it down that I am going to do this thing this week or next week. We're going to a new week, and make sure that you're going to achieve that. The next difficult decision you're going to make, run it through the 3 different steps I told you I use: the middle, the headline, and the mentor. Own your mistake out loud. If after making your plans or setting your goals, you fall short, it is fine. It is okay. Own it. Own it. Don't blame any other person. Don't say it was because of the rain fell, or it was because I didn't have transport to go where there, or it was because I didn't receive the resources or whatever. Own it. It is because of you. You are the one that failed, not the circumstances that made you fail. Now, an assignment I have for you. I would encourage everyone to find this book. It's called The 5 Levels of Leadership by John C. Maxwell. And this is a very interesting book. It opens your mind to what being an ethical leader is. It explains it in the simplest of terms. I would encourage you to find it. If there's anyone who's close to me and would want to borrow my copy, later on maybe you can send me a DM and I can get you a copy of it. This book is going to really help you. So that's what I will encourage you to be your next read. In this book, he talks about the 5 levels. First, he talks about position. It talks about permission, which is where people are the ones who allow you to lead. Position being where you are a leader simply because you're asked to lead. He also talks about production. People follow you because of what they have seen you do. They've seen the results. Talks about people development, where people follow you because of what you've done for them. This is one of the hardest stages to get. The leadership by position is what most people think is leadership, where maybe you are elected as the leader of something or you're given that assignment, and so all of a sudden you think you're a boss. That's the lightest form of leadership, and it actually really holds no influence. From permission down to the final stage, it graduates, the influences graduates. The last stage is the pinnacle leader. People follow you because of who you are, not because you are told to lead, not because they feel they want you to lead, not because of what you've done, not because of what you've also done for them, but because of who you are, because of the character and your personality, because of your character and your personality. There's an Igbo saying, Eze Kenneth, meaning a good name is worth more than money. I want you to remember that. Eze Kenneth. Lead so that the people you are in private with would be proud of the leader you are in public. There's another saying, which is "Onya halawanea," no brother left behind. You need to be a private leader first. Learn to lead yourself. Learn to lead in private. Learn to stand for integrity. Learn to stand for something, so that when you step outside, it shows. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your time. Thank you for paying attention to me. Thank you for being here and wanting to hear these wise words. I can guarantee you that if you follow these simple steps I have explained, that you will start to see a change in your life. You would notice a different feel to yourself. You will start to see yourself as a better leader. Thank you very much for your time. If you have any questions, I am open to answering questions. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. A round of applause, please. Give it up for him. Emojis, emojis. Thank you, Fire. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, JT. Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful presentation you gave to us today. So I'm going to take a few questions because of time. I'm going to take 3 questions briefly. So if you have a question, you can indicate by raising your hand up, or you can send your questions to the chat.
I think I saw a hand up, but it seems the person took it down.
Oh, okay. Questions coming in.
Are there any questions?
All right, Faith, go ahead. Ask your question.
You can come off mute and ask your question. I think you're muted if you're speaking.
Okay, so I'm actually in a public transport. I don't know if you...
Yeah, go ahead. You can.
Okay, so my question is, maybe I want Mr. Eze to elaborate more on where he spoke about owning your mistakes, being accountable, not minding the circumstances that may arise. I don't really get that part. What if there are the situations that arise, I couldn't achieve those goals? How do you own to those mistakes? Because it's not actually your fault, just because of the situation around you.
Oh, okay. Can I go ahead with the answer to that question, Bill?
Yes, please.
Okay. So if I understood your question correctly, you're saying you want to understand where I talked about owning your mistakes, not blaming the circumstances or the situations around you, and basically saying you are the cause of what happened. Now let me explain it. There is something that happens to you psychologically when you believe that things that happen because of external circumstances. There's something that it does to your head. It's actually been proven by psychologists. Gradually, you move to a point where you start thinking, whatever plans I am making, something is going to stop it from happening. Now, what I meant is this. If you've set your mind to achieve something, you've set your mind to do something, from the beginning, yes, things can happen. But then don't have it in your mind that it was caused by something else. For instance, let me give an example. You plan that you were going to go out tomorrow, and tomorrow rain starts falling. Anything can happen. Anything could have happened, but rain starts falling, and eventually you decided not to go. It's easy to blame the rain. It's easy to say it was the rain that caused why I didn't go out that day. But have you asked yourself, did you plan for the rain? Were you making your plans with the mindset that nothing was going to happen? The rain started falling. What did you do to solve that problem? What did you do to get out of that situation? What did you do to prevent that rain falling from spoiling the plants you had? Was it, did you get an umbrella? Did you try to see if you could call somebody to come and pick you? Or did you just simply say, oh, rain is falling, I can't do anything about it? So an important part of accountability is owning it. You need to feel like it is your own. You need to feel like everything as related to the outcome of this situation, I am the one in charge of it. I am the one that is calling the shots. Situations will arise, problems will come up. It is my responsibility to make sure that I get my goal achieved. Faith, I don't know if that answers your question.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. I think Siphon has a question.
Siphon, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for such a nice section. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, my question is this. As leaders, we are most times saddled with responsibilities. And then sometimes people come to tell you their burdens, and then most times it can be very, very overwhelming. And you know, as human beings, we can't deal without our emotions. So, in situations where you have to bear your own things happening around you, and then you're also bearing others, how do you kind of balance it as a leader so you don't get so overwhelmed, and then so I can lead effectively? That's my question.
That's a wonderful question. That's a very, very wonderful question. To answer that question, here's my thought about it. I think most times we make the mistake of thinking that as a leader, you are expected to have the solution to everything. That's a mistake we make. You think about it, even with our country, sometimes you expect that the leader knows everything. He knows how to fix every problem. For myself, from the beginning, I have it in mind that I don't have the solution to all the problems. I can only solve what I can solve. I've had situations where people come up to me and they have certain problems or certain challenges that are very overwhelming, and like I feel bad for them and I really wish I could help. But then I have what you have. You can only provide solutions you have the solutions for. If that so I don't always think you would solve everybody's problems. Sometimes as a leader, all you just need to do is just to listen. Sometimes you really don't even need to give any advice. You really don't need to tell them anything. You just need to listen to them. Just share their pain, converse with them. I understand how it feels as a leader who cares about your people. You want to help them. But then that's not always the case. A lot of the time you will not have the solution to the problems. And it's okay. It's fine. It's not out of place. As a leader, you're not always going to have the solutions. But you can with what you know and what you have, stand for something in such situations. I don't know if that answers your question, Sifon. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think we have one last question. Dixon, you can go ahead.
Good morning, sir.
Good
Good morning. Thank you for the section. I wanted to ask this as a leader, being friendly with people that you're leading, is it bad? Because some people, how will I put it, in terms of respecting your leader, a leader being so harsh just to gain the respect of his followers, then a leader being, a bit free-handed with his followers, that kind of stuff, whereby the leader is not so rigid, and sometimes being rigid to gain the respect of people, because some people say if you're over playful with people that you're leading, it tends to bring disrespect to you as a leader, and people see you maybe as weak or soft-handed, something like that. So I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. If being rigid and being soft How do you balance? How do you balance it?
I love that question. I that's a very smart question, and I've heard it a lot. I've heard people who say, "Oh, don't play, don't." If you are being soft, they would start disrespecting you. They would say, "Over familiarity brings disrespect and things like that." You see in this book, Mr. John explains that in well. So think about it this way. You remember I had said that leadership is influence. If you are still struggling with um, the issue of, let's say, people being disrespectful and things like that, you're simply still at the level of leadership by position. You're still there. You're a leader simply because you're just leading those people because you've been asked to lead them. It's position that has put you there. They don't want you to lead. They are not following you because they think you know what you're doing. They're simply following you because you are the one they saw in charge of them. Now, it is important to solve that problem. It is important to move away from being a leader by position to maybe a leader by permission, where people want you to lead them, or maybe eventually to the level of a pinnacle. You understand? The most important thing is most times people think, "Oh yeah, don't play with them." For me, I'm not. I'm with people I lead. I'm not overly strict or anything like that, because I understand that it is not about if you're playful or if you're not playful or if you're laughing with them or not. I understand it's not about that. It's simply about being an influence in their lives. It could be you can be an influence in maybe the way you speak, the ideologies you have, your integrity, things that cannot be sold in the market. When you gradually develop those things, people start seeing you because you are the head. You are just put there. You are just put in charge. You have gone away from just being our head to now our boss. Even no matter where they go, even if they eventually become something else, they are out of that position, they still see you as their leader. I don't know if that scratches your question. Anyway, Dixon. Dixon, are you with us? I think we lost him. Well, I hope that answers your question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
God give.
Okay, we have one more hand. God give has remained. Please, I sent something in the chat space. The meeting was scheduled for 1 hour. This webinar was scheduled for 1 hour. So the link will shut us that down for a few minutes, and we just have to join back the meeting again through the same link when it shuts down. Okay, please, sorry about that. God give, you can go ahead with your question, please.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for this inspiring session, and good morning, everyone. Okay, so my concern is this: with the level of advancement in all realms, the world and all the global movement, and now leadership is being seen in a wider perspective, likened with opulence. So it is becoming more difficult to lead from that remote perspective. So how can we actually balance this balance leadership with opulence? You understand? Because it's becoming obvious that if you don't have money and you are talking about leadership, you never start. So this is what we are witnessing even in this country. That if you don't have the boss, you never. So don't talk about leadership. So and now we have people who are genuinely leaders. In that in their remote perspective, in their remote region, but they never actually have the opportunity to experience that wealth. And most times when they stand up to talk, people actually don't actually have much influence. Okay, so how do one balance how are we going to balance leadership with opulence or wealth?
Thank you very much. And I think that question is heartfelt because I think I understand what you're saying very well. Um, Gradually, our society has progressed to a point where we say money they talk. You understand? It's who has money that is in charge. But I want you to think about this way. What happens when the money is not there? The person's voice is no longer heard. The person is no longer and when I converse with a lot of young people, that is something we struggle with because the voices are very, very loud. We see it, it shows. It shows that the person that most people listen to is the person that has the most money. Like I said, we say money they talk. Uh, it's that's the reality. But let's just try to digest this and let's think about it. Who is doing the control or who is doing the leading? Is it the person or the money? A common thing you will find out with all of these people is the moment the money leaves, their voice is taken too. They no longer have a voice. They are now called old money. They are now called, oh, you can get them before, he had it before. And that is not what leadership is, I must tell you. That is not what leadership. That is an endless trap of leadership by position, if I might say. You've been put in that position because you have money. Leaders who have gone past the stage of leadership by position, which is leaders who have built character, whether they have money or not, they will always have followers. I want you to take note of that. Whether they have money or not, whether their resources keeps going up or it comes down, whether they are locked in prison and they are looking like rags, whether the society or the government tries to silence them or whatever, they will still have a voice. That is a different kind of leadership. Just like I told you, it's a currency that cannot be taken away from you. If you build your character to that point, you gradually build your character to that point where you have people who are loyal to you, who listen to you because of who you are. Think of our society. There are people who listen to people simply because of who they are. It has nothing. There are no conversations about money. There are no conversations about how much cars they have or how many whatever they have. Just simply because of who that person is. Think of the people who have done the most things in this world, who have achieved the highest level of success. I don't mean financial success. I mean people who have actually had real impact in this world. They have not been leaders by position. They have been leaders by character, by who they were. That is the greatest form of leadership. The one of money, it will come and go. Money is a currency, it flows. Today it might be your turn, tomorrow it might not be your turn. Tomorrow it might be with someone else more. And that means if you are based off that, your voice is taken. You are no longer anybody. You are on to the next one. Money no day here again, we go to the next guy. So as a young person here and listening to me, important. Don't get it twisted. Money is important. But as you're striving to make money, make sure you build a character. Make sure you build a personality where if somebody comes and says, I heard this guy did this thing, before they will even start considering the possibility of it, they've already started saying, no, I don't think if you do that kind of thing. Because you have a character. You're not if you do amo, if you don't do amo. You don't have a personality. Nobody can say this is the kind of person this person is. So I would say work for money. No, not work for money. Work to get your resources right. But build a character in that process. Because, like I said, integrity is tested. You might claim you have integrity. It's only when you test it. In working to get your money right, your integrity will be tested. But like I told you, I'm giving you guys a simple assignment. Write down 3 things you can never do. 3 compromises for your integrity you would never have. That is what being an ethical leader is. And that kind of leadership, whether you have resources or not, you would always have a voice. That's my thought about that. God give, I don't know if I pointed you in the right direction.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. I think you have a question from David too. David, you can go ahead.
Okay, my question is this. Power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts absolutely. So I'm asking, why is it that when we have personal or small leaders, they do well, but when they handle public offices, they become corrupt by virtue of that power? So what is between that power and the goodwill they had before obtaining that great position?
Wonderful question. The simple answer is there was no character. There was no character. Character is built. Character is, you don't wake up one day and you have it. If you were part of when I started, it starts from the small things. It starts from the WhatsApp group you're in already. You're the head of your church WhatsApp group. You're the head of the choir. You have a small store. You're managing a small store. It starts there. You don't eventually get to a point where you have a lot of resources and you're expecting that you will not be a good person, or now you will not be an ethical leader, or now you will not do. No, it starts way back. It starts now. It starts today. It starts from the small and simple thing. It starts from those 3 things that you have written down that you're not going to do. That's where it starts from. So far in the last 3 years as a fast growing and developing economy. It's been seen as a state that has been doing well. People love the governor. This is not a political discussion, but it's clear that people love the governor. And there are simple things that he had said he would not do. An example, I know I've heard him say that he said while he was going to be in office, he was not going to take any gifts or appointments or whatever as being because he is the governor. That is an important part of being a leader. Beforehand, the problem is most times we wait until we are placed with the situation before we decide what we want to do. I want you to decide today, these are the things I can do and this is what I cannot do. You need to decide it now before that time comes. Because if that time comes, remember, the storm is going to be loud. There are going to be voices, just like Dora Akoili and the rest of the voices are going to be there. They're going to want to press on you. But if you've decided a long time ago and you've been constantly building it, you've been building that character step by step, till it becomes so solid, taking it apart becomes difficult. I don't know if that makes sense, because you don't really know any other thing to do. All you know to do is to do what is right. So a lot of the leaders we have today are faced with these situations because they do not have character. Their character was not built. They did not have strong personalities. Their personalities are basically blown around by whichever side is winning or whatever side is the most profitable at that particular point in time. I want you today, if you're under the sound of my voice, to be the kind of leader that has a decision today on the kind of person you would be 20 years to come. If I was in a position of leadership, if I became the president of the country, answers your question.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Jennifer, I think you have a question.
All right. We'll take our last question from Jennifer. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. So in your presentation, you mentioned the 4 pillars to lead by. And the third one you mentioned was accountability. I would like you to please explain what accountability is, because most people profess that they are accountable people, but we don't really understand what it really means to be an accountable person. Thank you.
Okay. So the word accountability, just like you said, most times is misunderstood. Now, for me, here's how I think about it. Accountability is my being able to say, I will do this, and to ask myself, did I do it? And if I didn't do it, why didn't I do it? And I am the reason why I did not do it. Another important part of being accountable is placing things around you that actually makes you accountable. Now, as crazy as this might sound, the human mind is a system that is yet to be completely understood. Sometimes our mind deviates from what is right, or what we might think we are doing what is the right thing, but somehow we've completely lost track of what the right thing to do, or what we are trying to do, and we've gone completely out of track. Accountability is basically the what's the word? The checker, to be sure that you're still going on that line. So first of all, you already need to have a line you're going towards. You have a goal at the end, and then you have a plan towards that goal. Accountability is your way of making sure that you're always in line. Because the reality is, as you're moving, sometimes you will be going offline. Now, this accountability can come in different ways. People practice it differently. For me, I found out that the most effective way is to have people that hold you accountable. If you say you want to hold yourself accountable, it is very easy to be holding yourself accountable for things that you have, when you've even completely gone off the line and you're still thinking you're still there. For me, I have people I run my ideas by. If I have said I am going to do a certain thing, I have people I meet and I tell them, oh, I have planned to achieve this within this timeline. And I am telling them that because I want to hold myself accountable. I want to remember that I have said I will do this thing. And so because I have said I will do this thing, I must do it. So I expect those people to, from time to time, ask me, that thing you said you were going to do, how far has it gone? Have you been able to achieve it? Are you working towards it? I intentionally create situations that helps me, basically like guardrails. You know, if you go on a bridge, there are sides of the bridge that prevent vehicles from falling out. That's what accountability is like. Placing things that help you maintain your line, stay on the road. You know, it can come in different forms, but as I've explained, this is what mine looks like. So accountability is basically being able to own your leadership, whether it's your personal leadership, leading yourself, which is the hardest, to own it, to say, I am in charge of this thing. I will make sure that as I am doing this thing, I'm giving it all. If I fail, why did I fail? I'm checking myself and saying, no, I need to fix this. I need to fix this. And not just hoping and praying that everything will just fall into place. So I don't know. Does that answer your question, Jennifer? Okay,
Very well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your questions. I really appreciate them. And thank you for paying attention. I look forward to doing this some other time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can we show some appreciations through our emojis? Yes, thank you, Rina. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us here today, for all the interesting things we learned from you here today, the things about leadership and its ethics. We are really grateful, and thank you for being here once again. And I want to thank every other person for being here. Thank you for attending. Abigail Isaac, thank you. Bright Obina, thank you. Chizi Obe, thank you so much. David Ephraim, thank you so much. Dixie Miracle, thank you. Faith, thank you. God give us Hazurime, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Jennifer Sunday, highly appreciated. Juno Sebonsu, I'm really grateful you're here. Sifon Paul, thank you. Uchechi Siva Wangele, thank you. And finally, Wina Famous, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We hope to do this some other time. Anticipate the next one should be in September. And we're going to invite an amazing speaker too, who has much more insights on leadership to train us. The aim of Turning Point is to raise young individuals to become accountable and responsible leaders in the society. So stay tuned with us as we bring you more updates on future webinars. So thank you once more for being here. Have a lovely weekend and have a great day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.